So when you are talking about international business is something where you really need to find the product which you are going to launch has an acceptability in that market. Okay,
Product
yeah,
match, product fix,
yeah.
we
So
can
we
say.
always think that if the product is unique, it will sell. No, it's not that. You have a unique product, but that does that product have that acceptability in that market?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for example, I launch a beautiful implant or a beautiful stent or a beautiful coil for neurosurgery, but if that country doesn't have the potential to buy, the potential to have that kind of expert
Or
doctors who can
infrastructure,
treat, infrastructure as rightly said by you, we cannot sell. So
right?
okay, so these are the different types of dynamics. Then sometimes it happens that there is a partner. So
Mm-hmm.
like when you start an international business, firstly you have to identify the regulatory aspects of that
Mm-hmm.
country. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
like it shouldn't happen that you sell and your product gets stuck in the customs.
Ha
Why?
ha ha.
Because it's not regulatory approved.
Correct.
Okay, so in some countries the regulatory is quite easy. The product gets approval in a month or 2 months. But there are
Mm.
certain countries, especially in Asia, like when you talk of
Mm.
Philippines or Indonesia
Ha ha ha.
or Vietnam, the
Ha ha.
regulatory procedure is very harsh, and
Okay.
it takes almost 12 months, 18 months, even 2 years
Correct.
for the
Correct.
registration to get done. And after that registration, the technology has changed. Okay,
Yes.
so these
Yes.
markets are so. I mean to say that you have to really do a lot of study.
Ha ha ha.
There are a lot of consultants in the market with the help of which you can actually identify how these markets behave.
Right.
It
Right.
shouldn't happen that you launch a product and by the time your registration is done, the technology has collapsed.
Ha ha ha.
Okay, so that is one thing. The kind
Mm-hmm.
of market, the kind of product that you launch.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you have to see whether that market is already flooded with that kind of a product. For example,
Mm-hmm.
I give you an example for like a coronary stent, for
Ha
example.
ha.
Okay, you have to see if the market already has a lot of Indian players, a lot of multinationals in that market,
Mm-hmm.
whether you will be able to sell that product, whether you
Mm-hmm.
will be able to enjoy that kind of a price.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one thing. Then I mean, so these are basically how you
Yes.
initiate
Yes.
into international
I mean,
business.
very true. The Africa is a emerging market, but see what big mistake new business owner does is that when he think about international business, he goes to Dubai, he goes to London, he goes to, let's say, Spain or Paris, but that's not a potential market for us as an Indian manufacturer point of view. You need to, as you rightly said, you need to understand the market, whether it's potential or not for your product. Then the regulatory, definitely. But how I see, definitely Africa is emerging market for
Correct.
Indian manufacturer. But if you see the 60% potential market, I'm talking about like in general, like in wholesome, I would say, or I think Europe is a biggest market for Indian manufacturers. The product is getting well accepted. The second biggest potential market is Latin America,
Correct.
starting from Mexico to till Brazil. You can take any country. Definitely, regulatory is a major part, but these are the two regions which is very potential for Indian manufacturer point of view. If you want to, let's say, segregate, I would say 60-40, 60% markets or 60% your business will come from these two regions, and then rest 40% business will come from rest regions. So that's how I look at. Here I wanted to highlight is that if you want to do business, international business, then don't go to Dubai, or don't go to Middle East at initial stage of your business. Because see, if you see the Dubai market is definitely is a completely reimbursed market. That means government pays 100% for your procedure or medicine or medical
Absolutely
devices.
correct.
But government pays only to the Dubai citizens or Middle East citizens. But if you see the actual Middle East citizens, there are very few Middle East citizens who getting treatment in the country.
Correct.
60% again they go to, let's say, London, to USA, to any other developed country, and rest 90% the diaspora from the India, from this Sri Lanka, from Bangladesh, from Pakistan, they are working there. But when it comes to the treatment, when it comes to the surgery, they go back to their own country. That's the reason the Middle East not potential at first initial stage of your business.
Yeah, even I would suggest that Middle East shouldn't be the market where you should initiate your business when
Ha
you're
ha ha.
launching fresh. when you're launching fresh, you should definitely focus on Latin America,
Uh-huh.
because barring few countries, there are other markets which are open markets. They welcome Indian products.
Uh-huh.
So in last 10-15 years, what has happened is Indian products have gained a lot of acceptance,
Correct.
because our quality, not only our quality is good, but we are economically priced. We
Correct.
cannot say we are cheaper, but we are economically priced. So when you were talking about markets, like when you're comparing Europe and Africa, both the continents have potential, but
Mm-hmm.
the difference is in Europe, they are technologically advanced. Uh, they know how to use the product, so that's the reason there are a lot of already players
Mm-hmm.
who are selling the products in the market.
Mm-hmm.
But in Africa, potential is there,
Mm-hmm.
but you need to develop that market. For example, you need to train those doctors on those
Okay.
kind of products. You need to have that kind of facility. So somebody Indian going there and putting up a big hospital with
Okay.
all the facilities, that
Uh-huh.
is the kind of start you need to do in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
which is not the case in Europe. Europe, the facility is there, the doctors are trained.
Right,
You
right.
have to give them new products. You have to give them some technically advanced product, and they will use it. Okay,
Right, right.
it should have a benefit.
Mm-hmm.
But recently, when it comes to commodity, like of a commodity kind of a product, the burden of insurance in Europe is on the government. So
Uh-huh.
the government is preferring to buy products which serves the purpose, but also available to them at a cheaper cost, at
Mm-hmm.
an economical cost. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the case in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when it comes to some of the implants which are deployed in a patient, the government will always prefer to buy. And these days, in last 15-20 years, there is a lot of acceptance to the Indian products.
Mm-hmm.
But vis-a-vis when you go to Africa, the scenario is very different. When
Mm-hmm.
it comes to a commodity product, it is only the price
Mm-hmm.
which gathers more importance.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen like some of the countries in Central Africa, like DRC,
Mm-hmm.
the price, you don't enjoy much margins there. It is more
Mm-hmm.
of a volume business.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and that it is not technologically advanced. So that is the difference between basically Europe,
Two
doing
markets.
business in Europe and in Africa.